Like the video and use code Upshall if this video helps you out. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the video. Today we are talking about the two types of aim assist that are now in the game. Basically, there's an old school setting style that you can turn on, and then a new school type of aim assist or settings in general that you can turn on, and they actually make the game function very, very differently. So I wanted to highlight that for you guys and how you can kind of choose either or to tailor for your gameplay style. So right now we are using the old school version of the settings. So basically, to turn this on, you turn on advanced options right here. I'm gonna move my big dome to the other side here. So you turn on advanced options right there, and then you turn on legacy look controls, and that will actually turn back on this menu and give you all your old settings, and it will give you the old school L2 aim assist. So just to demonstrate, if I'm close to a guy and I start L2 spamming, I'm dragged under their head, right? So if I'm close to a guy, boom, 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 boom. You get the idea. I don't need to make the sound effect. However, if I turn on the new version of aim assist, and you do this by going into here, you keep advanced options on, but you go down here and turn off legacy look controls, hit apply. So overall, I have my settings set up pretty similarly, but if I get close to a player and I spam L2, you'll notice something. I'm not auto-rotating on the target anymore. I go to shoot, I might get a little bit of a bloom tag, but I'm not snapping on the target. So basically, the old school aim assist has the stronger auto rotation, meaning that when you hit the L2 button, you're going to auto rotate onto the target as long as you're close. This aim assist, though, has a huge benefit. Actually, two huge benefits that I'm going to talk about now. The main benefit being that you have really, really increased ADS like tracking and stickiness of your reticle. So basically, like if you're scrolling on a target, I'm actually inputting the same amount on my joystick, and I'm getting this huge slowdown as I rotate on the target. What that allows you to do is, as you're tracking a target through the air or across the ground as they're moving, it allows your reticle to kind of stick on a target, and you'll get more consistent tags. So basically, as I'm scrolling around from target to target, I'm going to get a much increased stick. And you'll notice that I'm not coming out of ADS. I'm staying aimed down sight this whole time. I'm not spamming at all. And I'm able to flick target to target to target and do so with incredible consistency with this new aim assist. The other thing that's crazy, and I don't think many people know this, is that you actually get an enhanced zoom when you're using the new version of the settings in the game, which honestly seems crazy. I don't even know how much sense that makes, but just watch this. So if we're going to go back to old school settings, we're going to go back to legacy look controls, which is, again, is going to give you your old school aim assist. If I aim down sight, we get a little bit of zoom, right? So you can see your screen sort of shortening a little bit, but you can still completely see this wall that is in front of me right here as I aim down sight. So if I stay in the exact same position and change to the new version of the controls, hit apply, and I go to aim down sight, we actually zoom in much, much farther. So you can't even see the last two tiles on that wall, when before we could see the whole wall and extra aside from that. So it's actually crazy. So if you're tracking targets at range or trying to line people up at range, you're going to be able to see a lot farther, and it might offer you a little bit of increased precision. But with all that being said, if you're a competitive Fortnite player, you're a sweaty tryhard, most of your time is going to be spent box fighting. And I actually think old school legacy options are going to be better for you. Because let's just say I'm going to go strafe out and aim about there and then ADS at this guy. See, I'm hitting like little shoulder tags. I'm not really getting a whole lot of damage done right now. If I go back to old school settings and I do the exact same thing, and I step out and ADS while close to his head, about on his shoulder, I get a lot more auto rotation on the target. Again, it's a bit of a difficult thing to demonstrate, but you can see it if you really slow it down. The reticle starting to rotate on its own back to center chest. That will allow you to get a lot more consistent shotgun tags. It'll basically make it a lot easier for box fighting and just dealing with players in close quarter situation, which in Fortnite is a lot of the situations you get involved in. Honestly, I think the new tracking option and the new, more enhanced zoom with ARs is really cool. It makes, AR aim a little bit more athletic, more about your tracking ability, which I think is great. But I think the severe, loss of any auto rotation in close quarters fights is really going to hurt players. I would like to see Epic tweak that so we get a little bit more shotgun auto rotation if you do choose to use the new setting options. But see, nobody misses their shots right now. It's all good players, right? So you can't, stop and wheel for kills because you'll get lasered. You can't play super pushy because you'll get lasered. It's a different game now for high-level players. So for me, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about making the game less enjoyable as you get better is a good move, but we'll find out, dude. Overall, I want this game to survive, and if that means that I don't have as good of a time playing it, then I'd rather it survive than die. Okay, this guy had absolutely awful aim. So yeah, it's an interesting new game now, man. And I don't want to have to constantly be making Smurfs. Making Smurfs is not fun. Not for me, at least. Boom. Hey, what up, Best Trends? How's it going, dude? Blue My Mouse is much bigger with AK. It's much bigger on controller, too, in a certain... But only when you have certain settings on. It's really weird. So freaking sketch, man. Come on. So many sweaties, dude. So many sweaties. Wired or Bluetooth, what are you running? I'm running wired, but I'm running with a scuff, so it's a little bit different. Scuff uses different software, so it's actually less input lag. Bro, build, what are you doing? Also, anybody else notice how the mechs blow up as soon as they land? On update days, for me personally. I ran out of bullets. Dude, that's one thing that's crazy about using the grappler is you can just push out like that and you have no worries, right? Like, literally no worries. Because the guy shoots you out, well, you can just grappler, you know? So you can put on, like, crazy pressure onto people and they can't really do anything about it. Got him, coach. Bruh. Hey, GG's, man. But the new settings straight up change the way your ARs perform. It actually zooms you in even more. Which is kind of nutty and, in my opinion, unnecessary, but... Why am I doing this? Scuffed! Ooh! Little 16 bomb, baby! That's a nice little warm-up. Nice little warm-up, chat. Let's go!